Let's reset this legend here in this camera. There's some people saying they're getting fall dimes under fall with this machine. Well, if they're seeing them with this machine with ID, all right, stock settings right there, boys. A 20, M1, M2, 20. There's call height. Maybe you see that in that camera there. M3. What about over here? That's a piece of fog. There's a quarter laying right there under it. You see what you run into in the field? Multi-wet. Look at that, 24-point higher ID on that scenario there. See that in that camera there? You see what you got there? What about if we cover this thing up part of the way, what happens? M multi-wets still giving 44. Part 1 multi-3. Look at that. Part of that quarter's exposed. You see that? That tenfold's raised up there a little bit. 4 kilohertz. High ID. You see that in the camera? M1. You see that quarter there? Part of it's exposed. M2. Multi-wet. You see the ID? Alright, let's expose a little more of that quarter with that fall there propped up like that. There's multi-wet. Still giving 43, 41. Still showing signs of high conductor. Park M2. Nothing in the ID. I'll tell you what, let's do here. 60 tones. Let's see if we hear anything in the audio. M2, 60 tones. You hear anything in that audio telling you there's a quarter down there? I don't hear nothing. M3. That's from about 2 inches above that quarter. El Zippo. M1. Slow sweep, fast sweep, 60 tones. I don't hear a thing. All right, let's go back over here to multi-wet, 60 tones. What do we hear? High tone, 43 in the meter. What about if I move this fall on over to the side here? What do we hear? 40, 60 tones, M-wet. I'm still getting high ID and multi-wet. M1. You see that in that camera there? There's 60 tones right there, M1 in power. Look at that. You hear any high ID in that machine telling you that quarter's down there? What about if we run the tone break up? Let's go back here to M1. There's M1. Let's go here and run the tone break up on this machine. 60 tones. Tone breaks at 10. 2 inches above that. You see what you got? Look at that. 20 tone break. That's what you hear right there. Okay, what about if we do this in multi-wet? 60 tones, tone break at 10. About 2 inches, 2.5 inches above that right there. You see what's happening? Look at that. You don't think you'd run into something like that in the wild? You're crazy. You'd never see that quarter. I mean, you wouldn't have no ID on it. There's M1. 60 tones. Tone brake back to 10. Let's go over here and sweep on this other side of this right here and see what happens. All right, M1. Look here. You see where that call's at? I'm over here on this side of the fall. You hear any quarter in that machine? 60 tones? Look at that. So I'm sitting out here, 360 sweeps in M1, and you'll never know that quarter's there based on any tone or ID, okay? Multi-wet. Look where I'm at. Let me get my tone brake out of it. Tone brake, multi-wet. Let me turn the volume up on this machine. There you go. You see there, I'm over here, I'm getting a high conduct, 43, 44. It's compromised somewhat, but good gracious. That's better than 20. Look at that. 360 degrees rotation now around this target here. I get a good hint of high conductive coin. That's a big old quarter. I wonder if that was a dime laying there. All right. Park multi 1, 22 in the meter, multi 2, multi 3. I'm over here, look at that. Call's over here. That's the toe of the call in multi 3 on that quarter. And I get hints when the call is shoved all the way against it. Now, just for gee whiz, I'm in multi-wet. Turn the sensitivity on up on this machine. It's running quiet. That's max sensitivity. Multi-wet. You see how high that call is above that setup there? Good depth, okay, to hear that. I'm over here now. And you see that set? Now I'm coming across the fall. Still getting, maybe you see that screen there. All right, that's multi-wet. Here's Park multi 1, max sensitivity, speed 5, call height. I was getting it right there, multi-wet with 41 in the meter, 16, 18. You come over here. You'll never get no indication that quarter's down there. Nothing but multi-wet on this machine. You know, multi-wet, boys. If it was a laying program and you could ground balance this machine right here, it'd be killer. That 6-inch coil right there, I'd rate this machine. It might be the best 6-inch coil machine made in modern trash. Especially since you can adjust the speed setting on it. You can't even do that on that CTX. Better be better than Equinox. What do you think about that? Y'all think I'm biased? I'm telling you the truth. They made a machine that put the best program over here in the beach. Get this thing moved, my Nokta Makro. You want to sell some machines, you'll sell them, okay? And when I can do some tests in a ground-based program and go in the wild, I can still do it in beach wet. I'm going to be showing you all some. I'll get over some targets in beach wet, and when I flip them Park M1, M2, and M3, you know what you're going to see in the meter? You're going to see some 20s, high 20s, low 20s, high teens, and beach wet is going to be flashing big clue of high conductor, okay? That's what Americans like to hunt. They like to hunt them high conductors, a lot of people. We got a lot of high conductive coins in the United States, a lot more probably than other countries in the world. You know, all I can do is be honest, and give you my honest opinion. I'm rooting for everybody. Everybody make a good detector. If I hit the Powerball, maybe I can afford to buy them all.